Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Wilmot from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation to show you the capabilities of Workbooks CRM, what areas of your business it can address, and how my company, Wizard Systems, can help you with your CRM project. Now, we run these short presentations every Friday, focusing on different aspects of Workbooks. And today we're going to look more closely at how you import data into Workbooks. So, for example, you've got an Excel spreadsheet. You may have acquired this from somebody else or from an exhibition. How do you get that information quickly and easily into the workbook system and start working on it? Now, this presentation will be about half an hour, so it's just a basic session. Every company uses CRM in different ways. Everyone's got different requirements. I wouldn't have enough time this morning to go through all of the extensive capabilities. So after this call, if you want to explore workbooks in a bit more detail, we'd love to organize more of a one-to-one session with you if we haven't done so already, and we can then go through your specific requirements. Also on the session today, we've got some people already trialing workbooks, so apologies if I'm going over some old ground there. I need to obviously be aware of those people that haven't seen the system at all. Are very fresh to it. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. Your microphone is on mute. If you've got any questions, please type those into the questions section on your meeting control panel, which should be in the top right corner of your screen, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end, which will be in about 25 minutes, half an hour or so. This session is being recorded. After the presentation, you'll get an email from us with a link to the recording, and we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. Just a brief mention about my company, Wizard Systems. We are CRM specialists. That's all we do. We've done this a long time now. We've implemented well over 3,000 systems in the UK and further afield into all sorts of different types of companies and sizes of companies, from sole traders right up to some implementations of many hundreds of users. Now, with Workbooks, it's a cloud solution, so there's nothing to install. You can be up and running very, very quickly. And we have clients that do their own thing with Workbooks, teach themselves how to use it, set it up themselves. There's lots of resources available to assist you, but we're here on hand should you need us in any step of the way in the implementation, migrating data, which is what I'm going to cover today, training you and your colleagues on how to use workbooks. We can train you at your premises. You can come to us. We're based just north of Bristol, or we can do training online for you if that's more convenient. And finally, we've got a friendly, helpful, responsive help desk service to assist you should you have any queries or questions about the workbook system. So in working with you, what we want to get at is, what do you want out of workbooks? What's the key drivers there? What are the issues you're looking to solve? What objectives are you looking to attain? And it might be perhaps improving the sales process. Maybe you're trying to replace an older legacy CRM system with workbooks. Maybe you want to improve the way you do quotes, improve customer service, do better marketing, better email marketing campaigns, maybe a combination of all of those. So really that's what we want to try and get at, is trying to see what the tangible benefits are for you of the workbook system, so that we can measure, we can actually look at some kind of ROI on your investment in the workbook solution. So what is Workbooks? Well, it's a central, easy to use, a very affordable solution for managing information about your clients and your interactions with those clients and contacts. A great way of sharing information, improving teamwork. There's some marketing tools in there as well to help you be more proactive with your targeted communications to your prospects and customers. Unusually for a CRM system, we can also do sales quotes, and there's an option for creating orders and invoices to manage an order processing process. So there's two editions of workbooks that you can sign up for. There's CRM edition and business edition. Now, CRM edition does all the normal CRM things that you'd expect, right up to quote stage. It will do sales quotes if you want it to. And then if you want to create then orders and invoices, you'll need the business edition. Some of you will need the business edition. You can mix and match this within your company. Some users could be on CRM, some people could be on business. So business edition does everything that CRM does, plus the ability to create orders and invoices, all the financial stuff if you like. And we do have options in the UK for integrating with popular financial systems like Sage 50 and QuickBooks. I'll come on to pricing at the end of these two different editions, but just bear that in mind, these two different editions, CRM and business. Now both editions will also allow you to track customer service. So if you have engineers there, a help desk, support people, you can use then Workbooks to manage that customer support activity. So thereby sharing information in a more efficient way between your support and sales teams. Now, Workbooks, as well as it being a great personal productivity tool, it's a great management tool as well to help you manage your business, control your business, help you make decisions. I'll just touch on that as we go through. And Workbooks is a UK system, 100% in the cloud. As I've said already, nothing to install. You can be up and running very, very quickly. All the data is very, very secure, a level of security that most small and medium-sized businesses could not afford on their own. And the system is very reliable. Last year we had an uptime of 100%. It's always going to be there, available for you wherever, whenever you want it to. Now just focusing on the key components of the CRM solution, and before I dive into Workbooks proper. So at the heart of Workbooks is a contact database of all of your leads, your prospects, your customers, your suppliers, all the people that you deal with in your organization. It's very customizable. Shortly when I show you the system, all the screens can be changed by you. It's not difficult. You can take fields away, add fields to it, also define different security levels as well if you want to. Of course, with CRM, essentially we're trying to make things open, shareable to our colleagues, but there may be circumstances where you need to hide information or make things read-only. So there's lots of options in Workbooks to define different user access levels, if you like. So a great central shareable contact database. You're also using it to manage your schedule, to control your working day, your calls, your meetings, the other tasks that you've got to do. And we have, as an option, we have great integration with Outlook. So if you're using Outlook currently as your calendar, well, there's also a calendar in Workbooks. The two can be shared with each other. So you put information in once and it will appear in the other system. So we're using it to manage all of our activities, delegate activities to colleagues as well. Thereby, we're building up a wonderful client activity history of everything that we've done, our colleagues have done, which is tremendously useful from a customer service point of view. We can link with any email system with the Outlook integration. As you send and receive your emails, they can be copied into the Workbook system, visible against the client's record, together with the attachments on the email as well. And in fact, we can link with any other email system. If you're using Gmail, Yahoo, Apple, or whatever, we can link to all of that. And mobile access is included. If you've got a mobile device, a great way of accessing the system while you're on the go. And in fact, we work with any browser as well. Marketing, if you're currently using email, an email marketing solution for doing targeted emails to your clients, then that can be integrated too with Workbooks. And in fact, before you do any marketing, you may be acquiring data from different sources, and that's what I'm going to cover as part of my presentation today, is how do you get that data into Workbooks to start using it. So there's a very easy way of importing, uploading data to Workbooks, and the flip side of that, to export the data as well. If you need to export it out to somebody else or another company or another application, it's very easy to export anything out of the system. Another way of getting data into Workbooks is via your website. So we include a sample web form, so that can be put on your website, as people fill in their details, that becomes automatically a lead record in the system. So you can start working on that data. There's a bit of workflow in the system to push that through to your inbox to alert you to these new inquiries coming through. But automatically, these inquiries will be logged on your system. And in fact, Workbooks being a web application, we can open out parts of it to our customers. We can create, or you can create, a customer portal if you want to share information with your customers or allow people to log their own information. You can do that also with Workbooks. So putting your marketing hat on, you've got an easy way of creating target lists, gathering together all of the contacts in your system that got something in common. And then we, as standard, we integrate with MailChimp, Constant Contact, Mailer, 3 very popular email marketing solutions in the UK. And it's a two-way link. So you create your list in Workbooks. That list is uploaded to, say, something like MailChimp. MailChimp allows you to create a nice looking email. It will deliver the email. And then automatically with the integration coming back into Workbooks, we can see against a customer record what emails they were sent, what did they open, what did they click on, and also observing hard bounce and opt-out, unsubscribe information as well, keeping your whole system up to date. So a key part of Workbooks or a CRM solution for many people is managing your sales process, and part of that may be the requirement to issue sales quotations to your customers. So this is part of both editions of QuoteWorks, the ability to create a nice looking professional quotation in a PDF format. Very easily done from the system. You can also store your price list in Workbooks. That can be imported as well. I'm going to cover the import today of names and addresses, but also you can import your price lists. You can define different quote layouts. These are, as I say, defined in a PDF type format, but with your logos, your terms and conditions, where you want all the information to appear, that can be customized and fully integrated, and it's part of the opportunity management part of Workbooks. So the opportunity is, if you like, another screen in Workbooks, another bit of information that we're tracking against our customers, more information, summarizing more information about the opportunity, the inquiry or the project or the job. You can call it what you want to. You can customize Workbooks to put in your own terminology, your own language. So a great way of tracking the opportunity and linking all the quotes to that opportunity. And if you've got the business edition, then an easy way of converting your quotes to orders or invoices. Do you have a customer service capability in your company? Do you have engineers, technicians, a help desk? So they too could be using Workbooks. So we're all using, all of our customer-facing people are using the same tool, thereby improving better teamwork and sharing information amongst your different colleagues. So with the service tracking, we can track customer calls. You can apply deadlines and track SLAs, service level agreements. You're building up a wonderful history of all these issues, so you can spot trends as well, what the issues were, what type of issue, what was the solution. So in a way, you're building up a wonderful knowledge base going forward as well to really just help you improve as time goes on. So last slide before I dive into the demo proper. Workbooks is a great management tool. As you can see, we've got a great way of tracking sales activity levels. If we're recording things, we've got a great way of measuring and managing situations and information. So a great way of tracking how many leads are coming in, how many calls we're doing, how many meetings we're doing. Of course, a key thing to many users is tracking sales opportunities, your revenue, your forecast, your pipeline in the system to know what business is coming, when is it due, what's the probability, what's the value, what's the competition, and so on. Now, to assist you to help manage your business, we do provide in Workbooks a report writer. There's about 50 or so ready-made reports to get you going, nice looking reports to help you make decisions, and also complementary to that there's some dashboards as well to really summarize what's going on right now in the areas of, say, leads or sales or activities or marketing and customer service. Okay, so let me take you into Workbooks proper, and I'm going to essentially cover two things here. Just first of all, what does it look like? What's the interface look like? How do I access information? And then secondly, going through the import feature. I'm going to take a very simple example of importing some names and addresses into Workbooks to start the whole process off. So here is Workbooks. I'm using Chrome this morning. It will work with any browser. I've just logged into Workbooks, and as you can see, it's got that familiar look and feel. It looks like your Windows desktop with that start button down there in the bottom left-hand corner, and there's a Google-like search box just to the right of that. But from that start button and your start menu, depending on who you are, I'm logged on as an administrator here this morning, so I've got access to all of the features, all of the options here. But depending on who you are, you see these different menu options. And right at the top, at the heart of Workbooks, are people and organizations, the contacts and companies that you're working with. And lower down, we've got access to our activities, so it will show you what activities you've got to do today, what emails have come in from something else, what support cases. If you're a support person, you'll be living in this section. What cases, what tickets do we have on the go right now? Then, of course, it's a very important sales tool. So this is where a salesperson or sales manager can see their leads, what opportunities are on the go right now, outstanding customer quotation orders, and team sales forecasts. If you're a marketing person, this is where you can see all of your marketing campaigns on the go right now, and being able to manage your product and price list. Again, tracking sales leads, your different mailing lists, marketing collateral, and so on. And if you've got the business edition, well, a finance person will be here looking at customer transactions, orders, invoices, credit notes, supplier purchase orders, and there's an option for tracking contracts as well. And there's the reporting system. So if I just dive into organizations first of all, just to give you a flavor of the interface. So I've selected something and I'm immediately displayed with what we call the organization landing page, just basically like an Excel spreadsheet of row by row summarizing all of the companies, all of the organizations in my system. So there we are, we've got a number of columns there, name, telephone number, category, and so on. You can decide what columns you see in this summary view. And down the left-hand side here, in this view section, this is where I can group together all of the organizations that have something in common. So I could quickly, for example, look at all of my suppliers. I click on that little suppliers view there, and there we are, there's all of my suppliers. So very easy to dive around these different views there. Nothing's more than a few clicks away. Now if I dive into a particular company organization record here, so let's look at, for example, this organization, Atlantic Computer Services, and what's popped up is another window with loads of tabs across the top. You can have more tabs or less tabs, but initially we're on the main tab. What's the key information about this organization? Name, address, contact details. All of this can be changed by you. You can take fields away, add fields to it, a number of different field types, check boxes, text fields, date fields, notes boxes, and so on. There's about 20 different field types when you create your own field. You're spoiled for choice there. And then running across the top, we've got more detailed information about this organization. So I can see some basic notes about this company, including any attached files. We can link files or documents with this company record for sharing document or file type information. What activities have we done with this contact? So there we are, all the activities that we're doing. Again, you can decide on this page what columns you see. You can very easily customize these columns, take things away, add things to it. Visually in red, we can see things that are overdue there as well. What emails have been sent or been retrieved from this contact? What people do we know in this company? So there's 3 people in this company, Alan, Gracie, Kate. I can click on their records and dive to their records. So this now is a record of a person, a contact in the system, but very similar. We've got this consistent way of displaying information in workbooks with this window, a familiar window that can be minimized, maximized, moved around. But there's those tabs running across the top again. Main, the main information about Alan. Again, you can change all of this. Notes, activities, emails, other people and organizations Alan is associated with. Opportunities, what opportunities are on the go right now that Alan is linked to. Alan has been associated with, so we can see there 3 different opportunities. We can dive into those and see more information about that. Transactions in workbooks are any financial thing, so quotes, orders, invoices, and we do focus on tracking, creating these in one of our regular Friday sessions. You might catch a recording up on our YouTube channel. So cases are any support issues that have been recorded. Again, a very, very customizable part of workbooks. And finally, if I just stretch this window over there, we've got marketing campaigns. So what marketing events or campaigns has Alan been invited to or is associated with? And again, we can dive into those and see a bit more information. So a nice and easy, clean interface. It's got that familiar look and feel. It's very easy to find information, group information, and it's very customizable as well. So the second part of my call this morning is to really go through the import of records into the system. So imagine you've got an Excel spreadsheet of names and addresses. How do you get that information into workbooks? Well, the first thing to say is that workbooks requires you to have your data in a CSV format, comma separated values. So the data in Excel needs to be saved as a CSV. This is a common way of saving it as a slightly different format. And it's a very common, in fact, CSV is a very common format that's supported by many other different CRM and database applications. So I've created a CSV file already on my system today for the purpose of my demonstration, and I'd now like to briefly take you through the import process. So here we are on our main menu. There's import, and this brings up the import landing page, and down the left hand side here, these are all of the areas, these are all of the parts that we can import into, which, as you can see, are quite extensive. Most of the time it will be the top 2. You've got information in Excel that relates to individual contacts or organizations or a combination of both. For the purpose of my little demo this morning, I'm going to be importing some information about people. So I click on people, and I'm taken through a sort of wizard that's just going to present to me a few screens, taking me down through the process of importing this fresh data into workbooks. So first of all, I'm going to choose my file down here, my CSV file, and I'm going to pop into a demonstration CSV file here and open that. So I've selected my file now, and I'll click next. Second stage, this is where we are now just confirming this import name. It's detected already that I've got 5 columns in that CSV file, and there's 3 rows, there's 3 records in there. I could also view the uploaded file here as well, do a bit of sanity check here just to see what that file looks like. So if you'd have seen this in Excel, these would have been the columns, and in the first row, just to assist things along, in the first row I put in some kind of a description about what data was in that row. So if you saw it in Excel, I'd have first name, last name, telephone number, postcode, job function, and so on. So that's a quick sort of preview of the data. Right, third step next. Now this is an important screen because this is where we are mapping information from the source file to workbooks. So basically what we have here are three columns. On the left-hand side are the remaining fields where workbooks hasn't found a home for it to go to. On the right-hand side are all of the available fields that we can import into, quite extensive there, together with any custom fields that you've created. And importantly, in the middle, all the fields automatically where Workbooks has found that match, that mapping. Now, because of the similar way in which I defined in row 1 the column data, it's got some intelligence in there to find that match for you. So, for example, it found postcode, it matched that to postcode. It found a column called tel, it's matched that to telephone, first name to the person's name and last name, and then we've got separate fields for first name and last name there. But unfortunately, it's left out job function. It couldn't find that as a map field. So very simply, I just click on that, and then I can define, well, where am I going to now put, what field am I going to put that bit of information into that I call job function? Well, I do have a field, an available field in my workbook system called job role. Well, in fact, we've got job title and job role. So job role might be that person's job function. Job title may be their official title, financial director, for example, but maybe their job role is in IT. So we want to track that in our CRM system, of course. So I map that and save and close, job done. There we are. The job function is mapped. So no more fields to map, so I just continue on down through the process, click next. Now this is where we can, let's say for example that you are continually getting updated data from this particular source. The records that you're importing already exist in the Workbooks application, so you can, as another example there, you can be importing fresh information, updating existing records, and maybe creating new ones where there's no match. And there's various ways of creating a match there on existing records. I'm creating new records though on my little example here this morning. So I now run this import. That runs in the background. And if I just refresh this screen here and just dismiss my little reminder there. So we're still on the import process. Now, a nice feature of the Workbooks import process is that when we've done the import, it sits in a sort of waiting, the data sits in a waiting area, and nobody can see it until somebody approves of this data. Somebody checks it. And this is a nice capability, because if you have made a little mistake, if you have missed something out or mapped the data incorrectly, then you can sort of edit, undo. You can redo this thing again. With many other CRM systems out there, if you've made a mistake, well, you're going to have a lot of hassle in trying to gather together the incorrect data, remove it, and then redo the import from scratch. With Workbooks, it's very easy, so it hasn't found any errors. I can now approve of this import, say yes, and job done. That import has now been completed. And if I just close down that import screen there, and if I do a search for one of those records, I think I imported somebody called Irene. So if I do a little search there for Irene, there she is, Irene Harris. Click on that. And there we are, there's that new record. Obviously there's quite a few blanks there because I'm just, for the purpose of speed, I just had a very, very simple file to import. But there we are, the record's now in Workbooks, ready to use however you want to. So that's a quick run through of the import process. Now, as we're getting close to the end of the hour, end of the half hour, I'd just like to cover some pricing here. So you have an annual subscription for Workbooks based on the number of users that you want to have accessing the solution. And here's the two different editions, CRM edition and business edition, 228 per user per year plus VAT for CRM and 504 for business. There are some optional add-ons, for example, the Outlook integration, which allows you to share your emails and also to share calendar, task and contact information a bi-directional way. That's an extra £48 per user per year. And also budget for any help you need from us to partner with you to make sure that this implementation is successful for you. If you need some help with some training or customizing it or importing data, setting up templates, reports, integrating it with other applications, we're very experienced in all of these different areas, and we're here on hand to give you more information about those services and pricing there. So think realistic. How much help do you need in getting this up and running and making sure you're 110% confident on knowing how to use it? Well, it's the end of the half hour, and I'd now like to open up our session to any questions that you may have. And I think there's a couple of questions coming through. So first question from Valerie. How can you track contracts? Well, there is a separate contracts module in Workbooks. It's an extra £48 per user per year that needs that. And this is like another screen, Valerie, in Workbooks that allows you to track the contract, what type of contract, monetary information, dates, and so on, and also track other things against that contract, like support calls, for example, if you're wanting to track calls linked to that contract. So really nice, clever module, their contracts module. Next question from Tony. What mobile devices do you work on? Any. There's an app. We're also shortly going to be launching a tablet app as well. So Tony, it will work with anything there. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions coming through. Well, I'd just like to thank everyone on the call. There's been 14 people on the call this morning. Thanks very much indeed for your time. If you need a more detailed presentation, please let me know. Do you want to set up a trial? Go to workbooks.com and sign up for a free trial, no credit card required. That trial, that then can be converted to the live version when you decide to go ahead. But please call me. My name is Tim Wilmot. Contact us at wizard-systems.com or my email address, tim@wizard-systems.com. But thanks very much for your time this morning, and we look forward to speaking with you later on. Thank you very much indeed.